Okay, what we're going to take a look at next is infinite scrolling, and we'll use a helper package to help us out with this called React Infinite Scroller. So what we'll do is we'll just go to our terminal, and let's just go to the third tab, and we want to be inside our client's app when we do this, as always. And what we use is npm install, and we're just going to say React Infinite -scroller, and press return. Now, I had problems in testing with this. This package has not been updated to use React 17 yet. So we get this could not resolve dependency, and it tells us what it's looking for. It wants to see React 16, but we're using React 17. This package will be updated in due course, but the latest npm version prevents us from doing this unless we specifically tell it that we want the legacy peer dependencies. So what we need to do is add this particular switch, or we can simply tell it to force. So we'll use the legacy peer dependency switch and just go up and repeat that command and just add on the switch to get around this. If this package has been updated, obviously you won't need to go ahead and do that. Also, another thing that we need to do, because this does not come with typings, is we need the type definition file. So we don't need the legacy peer dependency switch for that. And we'll just say @types / and then React Infinite Scroller as well. And that's gone ahead and installed. Excellent. So let's go and make use of this in our application. So inside the activity dashboard, we can remove the button. We won't be using that anymore. And what we need to do is wrap our infinite scroller around our activity list. So what we'll do, we'll try and bring this in. We'll say infinite scroll. And let's see if we can bring this in with the quick fix, and we can. So we can import default infinite scroll from module React Infinite Scroller. And we need to give this some properties. So we need to tell it which page we start at, and we're going to say we're starting at 0. It will take a load more function, and we'll set this equal to our handle getNext method. We need to tell it if it has more. Otherwise, it's going to continue to bother our API if we don't tell it when to stop getting more activities. So what we'll do is we'll make sure that we're not loading next, as this can cause this to go into a loop if we don't do this. We also need to check that we have our pagination. Now, the has more function only takes a boolean or undefined. Our pagination is an object, so we need to cast that into a boolean. So we'll just check to make sure that we have the pagination object. And then we'll add another double ampersand, and we'll say pagination.currentPage is less than pagination.totalPages. And when our current page is less than total pages, then we do have more. When it's equal to our total pages, we do not have more. And then what we'll do is give it the property for initial load, and we're taking care of that in our useEffect method. So we'll set that to false. And then we can just cut our activity list, and we'll put it inside as a child of the infinite scroll. And what we'll also do is we'll add a loader in underneath our list so that we can see that something is happening as a user is scrolling down. So what we'll do is we'll just add another grid.column inside here, and we'll give it a width equal to 10. So it appears underneath in the middle of our activity list. And we'll just add the loader component we get from semantic UI. And we'll just say active is equal to loading next. So with this in place, we should be able to go test. And if we go back to our browser, let's just refresh the page. So we get a clean list of activities. And what we should find is as we scroll down the page, you should notice the scroll bar jump up as we're loading our next activities. And even though we've got a second delay in getting our events from our server, it's actually working quite well. And we can see that we've gone down to the bottom and it's not trying to do anything else. And let's just check the console to make sure there's no warnings or any other nastiness inside here. And just one warning to tell us that we've got a button imported we're not using. So that looks pretty good. Let's just clean up that whilst I've seen it. And we can just remove the button import from this. So that takes care of pagination. What we'll take a look at next is the filtering that we can do on our API. And we're going to concentrate on this area next so that we've got things to click on that's going to display different activities depending on what filter we've selected.